브릭스학원의 Annabell 선생님입니다. Hello everyone, my name is Annabelle and I am the English teacher here at Brix Bellevue, and today I will be talking about our Brix winter program. I will be teaching a course for AP English Language and Composition. So here are the details of the class information. The class will run from December 17th through December 31st for 2 weeks, and the class times will be 3 through 5 p.m. Now I'll go into a little bit more specifics on how we're going to separate this time. But the AP language exam is one of the exams that seem easy, but is actually quite difficult. Many students, claim to easily get a 4. However, getting a 5 proves to be quite tricky, and it does take a lot of effort and a lot of practice in order to achieve that 5. And so I will be kind of going over how our courses go on throughout the course of 2 weeks. So our first week of class, we will be focusing on the multiple choice questions. So the multiple choice questions focuses on nonfiction prose. And so one thing that we will focus on is learning how to read nonfiction and reading nonfiction in a very well and effective way, so that students can understand all the elements of the passage that need to be understood. In addition to that, we also need to cover all the language and rhetoric. So starting from language devices to the rhetorical devices, including all the logical fallacies. A lot of students kind of scramble with this. They'll learn a little bit in class here and there, but they never have to memorize it. And so by the time they get to the test, it's like, oh, I've heard of that, but I'm not exactly sure. And so this uncertainty kind of causes a little struggle in achieving a 5. And so one thing that we do at Brix is we make sure that our students know all of these and can apply them well and can understand them very well. Now, for the most part, because it is 5 courses or 5 classes a week and 2 hours each, that does amount to 10 hours and then 20 hours total. So 10 hours of just multiple choice questions. Sometimes for students here, it might be a little bit too much. And so we are very flexible with how we do separate our time. And so if the students are doing very well with multiple choice questions and they understand all the concepts and they've memorized all the devices, then we can move on to our second portion of the class and spend more time on that, because it is technically the more difficult section. The next section of our class and also the AP exam is the free response. And there are 3 essays, and the students are required to write 3 essays within 2 hours and 15 minutes. So that's around 45 minutes per essay question. A lot of students, first of all, struggle with how to structure their essays. And they're not sure how to write their introductions at first or create a good thesis. But creating that thesis is going to be extremely important for this exam. There are 3 different essay types. The first one is synthesis. So there's going to be a variety of sources. Students will choose their argument and they will argue their points throughout their essay. The second one will be an analytical essay. They will be reading a speech and they will be analyzing it and writing an essay. And the third one is a persuasive essay. So some of the students seem to do a pretty good job with the synthesis essay, and a lot of my students here in Bellevue have told me that they do a lot of the speech analysis and the analytical portion in classes. But some of my students have expressed how persuasive writing isn't covered as much, and this is actually one of the more tricky ones, because sometimes the questions are very hard to understand, and so there will be a lot of words and it will be extremely kind of hard at first, but we will in class cover how to find the keywords and make sure we know exactly what the question is asking us so we can craft a very strong and well-reasoned argument. For the analytical, we will talk about the commonly used speech devices and the devices that students can always look for, and we do kind of practice analyzing on a deeper level. And this aspect is an aspect that students tend to be a little bit not confident with. And so throughout the course, both the synthesis, analytical, and persuasive, they will get a lot of practice for this. So they'll write it for homework, we'll revise it, and they'll continue to revise it until necessary. But a lot of the class will be dedicated to this portion because this is the hardest portion of the test. and also the portion that the students have the most difficulty with. And so this is our 2-week program. So like I said, the first week is going to be 5 classes for the MCQ, and the second week is dedicated to the essays. But if the students do fairly well with the MCQs, then we will spend more time on this essay writing portion, so they will get more practice and they'll be more prepared for their AP exams. So I hope you guys join us at BRICS for the winter and get closer to getting a 5 on your AP exam. Bye!